Hello,
Hello.
I'm Ash.
I'm Tima.
I was about
Shit.
to say, who's this bitch over here? And this is Fatash.
Fatash.
You all delayed and frozen. Come on now, get with it. Get with it. We trying to run a professional, whatever this is.
Thing.
A way for me to communicate with
Show.
human beings at least once a week, even if it's just you.
Yay. You're doing it.
I'm doing
You-
it. Because the last time I interacted with
Don't
human
say just
beings, well, no, I mean, I say just you in the sense that, like, it's virtual. But the last time I actually made an in-person appearance with folks, I'm now sitting here with a scratchy throat, taking shots of Robitussin, orange juice, and Zicam. Because I have I'm thinking of going to C2E2 this weekend, Saturday. But now I also got this lower back pain, and I'm not about to be walking the floors of C2E2 for like 6 hours with what my grandfather thinks is sciatica, which I feel like that is a very large leap to assume I have sciatica at 30 because my mom apparently has sciatica at 50. So I just
Yeah, but like sciatica can happen at literally any age, and I'm hesitant to make the suggestion because I've made it to people before and it's been told to me that it's insensitive, but it worked for me to just do some stretches. Like there are tons of physical therapists on the internet who are like, if you have pain in here or here or here, then do these stretches. And they actually worked for me. So I'm saying like,
yeah.
I don't empathize with your pain. I'm just saying like this worked for me and maybe you could check it out.
Yeah, no, that's and I appreciate that because I'm someone who's kind of like I'll just, for lack of a better term, suffer through the pain. I'll take an ibuprofen and all that, but it's not any. It's an annoyance of a pain. It makes trying to lay down annoying, but I also have that same kind of pains just if I sleep on my arm wrong, or I sleep on my thigh wrong, or I don't know, I strained myself in the bathroom at a weird angle. Like, I'm not trying to diagnose myself with something. It's like I probably just stretched something or haven't stretched enough, which, to be fair, I spend most of the week in a chair or laying down. And the most walking I do is to the fridge and the bathroom, which are less than 3 feet from each other. So hopefully I feel better. I'm feeling a little better. I took a hot shower. I feel like I just need like a deep tissue massage, Have somebody rub on my booty that knows what they're doing. Platonically.
I've only had one massage that I ever liked.
Was that the one you found on like PayPal or something?
Yes, oh, he came recommended to me by my ADHD advisor. And she gave me like, I guess they were like part of some like business person's like conglomerate or like cooperative, like more like a cooperative, some coupons, and she gave them to me. And yeah, I went to his place then in a building that looked abandoned in the basement, and it was the best massage I've ever had. And ever since then, every massage I've ever had by a woman just tickled me.
Yeah, I've only had 3 massages in my life. I had 2 by Korean old lady that like stepped on my back. So that was a little too aggressive for me. And then the other one was actually an Asian dude. The dude was better, in my opinion. Like, I feel like the grandmoms felt like they had to overcompensate by, being extra aggressive because they're women and they're older. And the women are just very gentle in general. So it's like, let me try a guy. Let me see if maybe like just a natural strength to a guy. Plus, guys have like freakishly big hands. Like, have you ever looked at a dude's hand? It's weird. The nail bed it freaks me
I
out if I
don't
look at it too
know.
long. Look at
I
Mike's hands the next time you see him. It's unnerving the difference between men and women's hands when you really look at them.
Mike, are your hands weird? Do you have weird hands?
It's just men in
I
general.
mostly just look at guys like nails. If they have nails, I'm like,
And again, like, this is not exclusive to you. Like, even looking at my dad, my brothers, there's something going on where like the top of their nails are kind of nubby, like ET, but not quite ET. And again, it's only when you stare for too long do you start to notice just the difference in men and women's hands. But that's my weird quirk. Yeah, so all I have to say, I prefer a band to give me a deep tissue massage because their freakishly weird fingers can just hit spots that piano finger ladies can't. So,
yeah.
on my possible sciatica, what have you been up to?
This week I'm continuing on my Learn
Fatima,
R, which is a
what have you
statistical
been up to?
programming language, and I've been learning about natural language processing. So that's like how to pull out like the emotion out of like just like a blob of text. So like if you were to take out, let's say you were using this for marketing purposes and you wanted to know like people feel about your product versus another person's product, you could just pull out tweets that where they're talking about either your product or their product, and you can, and there's like compare them visually in like word clouds and like word like pyramids, and that's what I've been doing, and with the hope that I'll be able to towards my dissertation, because my dissertation I like primarily looked at like survey methods and a couple of other like behavioral methods, but I also have like these essays people wrote, and the essays were used as kind of like a primer, like to prime them to feel certain ways, but the text were never analyzed. So I'm learning that so I could apply that to my dissertation and possibly pull out parts of my dissertation to get published later on. But yeah.
Okay.
Your avatar is just staring at me.
And you somehow find no, I mean, I was taking it all in because this is something that you actually find fun. This isn't just work. This is interesting.
It is, because like, okay, so I majored in psychology, but I also minored in marketing, and this thing that I'm learning about now can be applied to both. And I'm thinking about doing some freelancing work, making this like part of my services.
Okay.
Oh, also I got a developer account on Twitter, so I can it enables me to do web scraping Twitter, which is fun.
I have been avoiding Twitter ever since I made my account. I don't use it unless I'm at like a con and they're like, oh, tweet at us or some bullshit. I really have grown to just not care for social media in general. It's very annoying. The algorithms.
I don't care for social media overall, but I love Twitter because I like being able to. There are a lot of like other like academias on Twitter, like social psychologists are on Twitter,
and I feel like
and people who are like used to be in academia but have then therefore but like since then like switched to industry jobs, they're there too, and they're always and stuff like that.
Well, I think maybe then
that's why I'm there, but I mostly
nothing else. Yeah, I think because my friend has like at least 5 different Twitter accounts probably, and each of them are geared towards different subject matter she's interested to, just so she can, you know, trick the algorithm into showing her only that on that specific account. And I've just
Yeah.
noticed, I'm only on Facebook, IG, and I recently made a TikTok. And already TikTok is getting on my nerves. And one of the things that get on my nerves about both TikTok and IG is how I don't understand how the algorithm works. Like, first of all, oh, sorry. First of all, I'm following specific people. And yet, when I open up my timeline, I'm getting random people in my timeline. All because I might have, I don't know. Like, it's rare that I actually will search for specific videos on Instagram and watch a video randomly. It'll usually be a reel that my friend will send me, so I watched it. So now on my timeline, I've got the people I watch, but then I have this random video in my feed because I watched a reel that my friend sent me. So now they're sending me more stuff of that person. Did not ask for that. Like, it's one thing when it's ads interrupting my feed every now and then. It's another when it's folks that I did not decide to follow that you are now suggesting. And I'm pretty sure I took the suggestion option off in my profile. And when I refresh my feed, it doesn't show me the most recent. It just shows me the most popular. I don't want to see the most popular. I want to see the most recent. It's so annoying. I'll sit there, open up the app.
I don't.
What?
No, I'm just trying to figure out like why it's doing that. Like.
Oh, he's back. Okay. Anyway.
Go ahead. They're not showing you what you. They're not showing you the people that you follow.
You were breaking up.
I said, "Oh, I was because they're not showing you the people that you follow."
Hella slow. You're like annoying. Slowly smiling. Are you trying to talk?
I was talking. What is happening? You're bluzzy.
Now you're back,
Lori.
I'm clear on my end. You're clear. I just can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. What were you saying about why my IG doesn't like me?
No, I was trying.
Yeah, my IG just don't like me. That's the TLDR. My IG don't like me. It just sends me suggestions I ain't asked for. It doesn't update for the latest. It just shows me the most popular, which is annoying because I'm also following celebrities.
I think I've heard a lot of. I think it was a specific like switched in the algorithm, and I'm not quite sure of it. Something to do with advertising or pushing accounts that they want to be popular.
Yeah,
but I'm not quite sure. I don't.
There's nothing I'm going to be able to do. It's just annoying because I get it on Facebook too, where it's suggested posts. Like, it's one thing when it's a friend I'm following reposting something. It's another when it's a suggested post in my stream, and it's just annoying to me. And then like every other ad on YouTube is Instagram or TikTok. I'm like, I have both of them. Leave me alone. And I don't even really care for TikTok. Like, I'm annoyed. I'm old. I'm annoyed. I really only use these apps to post the random videos I happen to edit that aren't of me. And neither of these platforms are really conducive to me sharing on these platforms. One of my videos, I got a bunch of views on over the weekend. And as of this morning, TikTok decided it was inappropriate due to their guidelines. And
what did you do?
Nothing. It just had girls on a pole, like brief instances of anime girls pole dancing. They're wearing clothes. All of their intimate bits are covered. No more than like you know, or no skimpier than a bathing suit. And they're like, it's sexual. I'm like, okay, but it's like brief and it's pole dancing. Like literally when I opened the app, there was a big girl on a pole, like a fat girl on a pole in some booty shorts. So is that's not sexual? Because she on a pole. Is it not sexual because she's a big girl? Because these girls are on a pole and they're just doing
It's body
acrobatics.
positivity.
It's just vertical Cirque du Soleil as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, my most popular video on TikTok. Now the video won't play, and I sent an appeal, but I can't even justify the appeal. Like on Instagram, I'll get stuff taken down sometimes too because of like the music I'm using can't be licensed in certain countries or what have you. So then I'll justify that it is a fan edit, send it off, and then within like maybe a couple hours a day, the video will be back up. But then there'll be another strike sometime later for that same video. So I'm like, all right, I'm tired of this annoyance. Let me see what TikTok's about. Only for TikTok to not allow you to edit your posts once you post them. So if you misspell something, oh well, you have to delete the whole video and upload it again. The formatting, I'm still trying to get used to the formatting because when I post stuff, the hashtags are running into each other in parts. And if it was an issue of being inappropriate for children, then it's like, okay, well, let me go back and see if I can adjust the audience settings. Because I think I had the audience setting as like 13 and up. And as far as I'm concerned, if you on this platform, you can handle anything that I'm posting because you watching this and worse on the internet anyway, especially when it comes to anime. It's not like I was actually using any fucking hentai, you know, but yeah. All that to say, I can't with these platforms. It really just annoys you as a creative when you have to keep, as soon as you start getting popular, that's when you start having issues. They start copyright claiming and oh, this is inappropriate. You got to take it down because this might insult someone's culture. Nigga, what? So it just makes you not even want to bother.
Well, speaking of anime, I'm still on season 1. No, I'm still on season 1
of Attack on Titan.
However, the female Titan has shown up.
Oh, the female Titan in her skinless, nippleless, muscled boobs.
Yes.
There's no jiggle physics on her boobs.
I was like,
it's
wow.
Just all muscle.
It's
no jiggle physics, no nipples, just muscle. Nothing.
Booty don't jiggle.
Nope. I think they did that on purpose. They're like, you are not about to get off on this giant woman. Y'all better go over to Resident Evil if you want some giant mommy milkers, because over here on Attack on Titan, we keeping it PG. But we're going to have a whole lot of blood and guts.
No genitals. No.
Oh, that would be
no genitals.
Giant. Can you imagine the Attack
Titans? Areolas.
Giant dick flopping around, knocking over buildings.
This is a whole other animal of anime if they include the genitals.
They have like the giant, like the colossal Titan. Can you imagine if it was like the colossal Titan's dick that slammed into the wall and not its foot? Oh my god. It's gotta be in a porno somewhere. Oh, we done lost Fatima.
Oh my god. I'm here. Nobody can hear me. Nobody can. Am I gone again? Hello? Hello? So Mike can see me and can hear me.
That was weird.
And now you're frozen. Are you okay?
Fatima's camera's out.
Hello? No! Mike can see me.
The only thing that's playing consistently is the background music.
Yeah. Mike can see
Okay, I
me.
can see you now. Okay.
And Mike,
I wasn't able to see you for a while.
well, Mike could. I don't know what's happening.
Okay. Okay. So we're back. If you were trying to talk, I couldn't. If you were trying to talk in that time, I
Okay.
couldn't hear you. So, I just finished off saying how it would be quite pornographic if it was the colossal titan's dick that slammed into the wall and not his foot. You have been
Yes.
used to.
Now I can't hear you.
I
And
wasn't
you're
talking.
fuzzy.
I said you had just been introduced to the female titan. Oh my god.
Yes. I
don't know. Okay.
Yes.
Jesus.
I have just been introduced to the female titan. She seems to know who Armin is.
What made you think that?
Right. Because she was killing them, and then she pulled back his hood and she saw his face. I was like, nah.
Oh, so you think she recognizes them?
I think she recognizes Armin. I think she's looking. I think she might be his mama.
Oh,
I have suspicion. Okay, so remember how we saw we saw it get eaten by a titan and lose an arm, right?
Yeah.
The first time that, yeah. And then I'm trying to think, like, when we saw his mother get eaten, she get eaten in half. Did she get her head bit off?
Her whole torso.
Or did she just get swallowed whole?
Nah, it took a chunk out of her torso. But the it was like a
okay,
it was like
maybe
a
it's not
blonde.
his mom.
It was a blonde titan that ate Aaron's mom. Which, keep note of that. It's gonna come back. The titan, like that.
Okay.
That is a plot point. The titan that ate Aaron's mom. So I mean, and she had such a distinct look to her too, like that very creepy smile. But she ain't have no titties like the female titan.
Some of them aren't.
I'm saying. It's like, why do some female presenting titans not have titties, but this one specifically has breasts? Like, what's going on?
Well, this one has breast. This one has muscles. This one is very fast and has control over her limbs and is not like a big baby.
Yeah.
It's seems like, to be doing things with intention, killing some people, not killing others. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely
talk. It can scream.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that ability. It overall it seems to have the same higher intellect as the colossal and the armored titan. And Aaron's attack titan to an extent.
Right.
Aaron just don't know how to work it yet. So it seems almost mindless
and
unless
Armin
you are specifically yelling in his face.
Yes, like when he struck out at Mikhail, like, Aaron, like, don't kill me.
Get yourself together. Get yourself. I'm pulling you out. You don't know how to act. So
the theory right now is okay. So that's why I was like, is it his mom? Is it somebody who knows him? And then I was also thinking, like, so Aaron has the ability to control a titan because of those experiments that his father did on him in the basement, which we still don't know anything about.
Yeah, you won't for about 3 seasons.
Then, like, it begs the question, like, did his dad do experiments on other people? is the female. Where is his dad? Because I noticed that he fucked off like before before the attack, which at this point had happened 5 years ago.
You know, that's actually
So
a
I
good
don't know.
question.
Wheels are turning.
That's a good question about the female Titan, because we're not really we know that it's called the female Titan because it has titties, but all the other Titans have, even the dumb ones, have taken on physical aspects of the gender that it ate, essentially, or was controlling it. So like Aaron's Attack Titan looks like a guy. The Colossal Titan looks like a guy. The Armored Titan looks like a guy. And they actually have like the physical facial structure of their actual person that they ate, or are in Aaron's case. So it begs the question, if the female Titan like ate a guy, would it be a guy's face with titties? Like, can it only eat women? You know, it's one of those things that haven't really been explained, but it's something to just take note of.
Also, she wasn't eating people, she was killing people. Like, she was squashing them with her foot. Like,
again, another thing
she was knocking them into trees. And also, like, there's differences in the Titans. Like, they're like, some are small, some are like bigger than others, some like walk around like, and apparently some of them like look like world-class athletes. So
yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
Well, again, things to take note of: not only the behavior of the Titans, but their physical features. But yeah, so you don't think it's his mom anymore? Okay. Yeah, just keep watching.
I don't know. I'm still not letting go of his mom because of what Aaron could do. And I don't think
you think it's Armin's mom, not
experimenting
Aaron's
on
mom?
him, but I don't think. Well, it's somebody, but I don't think that it's somebody that knows them, like those three, like Aaron, Armin, Mikasa.
Right.
And I don't think like his father's experiments in the basement. I don't think that Aaron was his first like
experiment.
I think he probably did this to a lot of people before he got around to doing it to his own son.
It is so fascinating. Here you come,
or maybe
up
not.
With these,
maybe
come up with these theories because like you're like half right. You're like half right about a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna say specifically what in all of your rambling, but just know that you are on the right track with some of your thinking. Just like I say, you're probably about 40% right in the sense that like Aaron is not the first.
I like shows where I can have these wild things like surprise me. But also like don't surprise me so much that it comes way the fuck out of left field.
Right.
Which is pretty much why I stopped watching Riverdale.
Yeah, I heard Riverdale jumped the shark.
Riverdale's first season was Riverdale's first season was like a teen drama, which also was not making sense because these were very obviously not teens. These were people in their
early
20s,
30s, late
some of
20s.
The plots were like, and some of the plots were like wildly inappropriate, such as like one of the main characters having an teacher, and it's not, and they wouldn't call it like rape, like they wouldn't call it. They treated it as like, oh, it's hot. It's like, no, like the teacher was wearing the Lolita glasses, and I was just kind of like, is this supposed to be like role reversal? And now you're saying it's okay because it's
yeah, it got
so yeah. That was the first season,
avenues.
and it had some like Twin Peaks vibes, which was fine. then they brought in like the cults and the witches, and the main character gets a gun and runs around like, I guess he considered himself to be a vigilante. It was looking more like school shooter type shit.
I mean, it sounds like it was veering into Sabrina the Teenage Witch territories, which that was its own show.
It should have. It should have gone all the way there, because Archie and Sabrina the Teenage Witch are like the same, like,
yeah. Sabrina
universe.
Sabrina is a spinoff of Archie.
They've done. Yeah, they should have done more crossovers if they were going to do witch shit, but then they didn't do that.
They didn't have the rights, because you had Sabrina on Netflix, and then you had Riverdale on the CW.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, Sabrina had.
Because I know, like.
Yeah, no. At some point,
Sabrina had what?
At some point, I think Riverdale did end up on Netflix, but Sabrina the Teenage Witch was a Netflix original around the same time that Archie or Riverdale was airing on the CW as its own entity with different showrunners, if I remember correctly. Plus, Sabrina only got like 2 seasons.
Because I know, like, there's a Archie. She got 3.
Okay, yeah, she had less than Riverdale. I know that much.
But there's a Archie horror, like, with and there they do a lot of crossovers between like Riverdale and I forget which town she's in. It's like Greendale or whatever, but it's literally like the next town over. But Riverdale is Riverdale, you can never know like what's about to happen, only because it's all ridiculous. And it seems like they do things at the end of seasons to try to guarantee themselves a job later, and try to write back to that big event, and they can never make it all the way.
Yeah, it's not combing all the way
like
over.
They had
I feel like every season of any show needs to feel like a contained story. Like, if you don't get a season 2, did you tell your story well enough and possibly set up for a season 2 if you already know a season 2 is not guaranteed? Some folks don't know a season 2 is guaranteed, but try to force it by leaving it on a very obnoxious cliffhanger, thinking that the show is going to garner popularity enough that the studios will be like, well, I guess we got to film a season 2 because it's so popular. And some of them are like, hell no, this was some shit.
Like, end of season 1, Archie's father gets shot by somebody in what looks like a mugging. They make a big deal out of like, oh, I'll never forget his eyes, and his eyes were green. And then they, like, season 2, they try to discover like who's the killer, but that killer all throughout season 1 and in parts of season 2, he has blue eyes, and then they try to change his eyes to green.
What was it? What
to make him
contacts? He was using contacts when he killed his dad.
I don't know. They tried to change his eye color and tell us that his eye, and it's like, no, watching this. You can do that if I'm like watching every week, but because I've been streaming this season 1, he had blue eyes.
and the character made
45 minutes ago.
They had such an emphasis on, I'll never forget the green eyes, and now you're trying to tell me the guy with the blue eyes is the killer? No, y'all weren't paying attention to each other's
Not
notes.
only are you trying to tell me the guy with the blue eyes is the killer, you're also telling eyes actually has green eyes.
Yeah, no. Attack on Titan is pretty good at not bullshitting. Like, anything that they have set up in season 1 will be, well, I can't say will be, at least where I am in watching the series, it has been addressed. So even things that seem like frivolous, it's like, oh snap, that was actually important. Now, people have apparently not been too satisfied with how the manga ended, and I think he got like a second ending. And that's usually the kicker for folks. Like, how do you finish the story? Depending on how the story is finished, can really hamper your opinion of the show overall. For some folks, like I go like when I think of Game of Thrones, that last season, in retrospect, not good at all. But it was entertaining. And the series as a whole was entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that last season was not good. Like, because when you start breaking down, like,
you answer as to what, the big mystery about the White Walkers,
how that John's lineage, and how that works, the prophecy, none of that stuff actually that they set up in seasons prior, none of that actually came to fruition because, for one, old boy hadn't written that part of the story yet, so there was nothing left for them to adapt, and they were just
he still hasn't,
and they were just coming up with shit, and it was just like, okay, well, Arya's popular, let's have her kill the Night King because fuck it, girl power. And it's like, yeah, it was cool.
And you know what? When I watched it, I was just kind of like, it was cool, but then like once you thought about it, you're like, what? Why?
Right, exactly. It's like
this doesn't make any sense.
Watching it, it was amazing. Even seeing her get dicked down by old boy. I have been rooting for her to get with old boy since I saw her making eyes at him, and I was conflicted in that moment when they actually had sex. Because it felt like it was in duress. You know, it was in the sense of like, we might die tomorrow, so let's just fuck. Yeah. As opposed to him also recognizing that he had an interest in her and them kind of courting like John did with the redhead girl from the Wildlings. You know? I was hoping for some
also like
no, go ahead.
A lot of what they did with Arya, like it was, I don't know if it was season 7 or 6 where they turned her into a superhero once she
like her whole training montage didn't even make sense.
Yeah, the faceless men, they made that
the rule of cool. It was just Arya's popular, let's just make her unstoppable. And it's like, no, part of the reason people
and also like be faceless men now, she can just take everybody's fucking face.
Yeah. She can take everyone's face. She has a dagger of dragon glass. Yeah. It's, again, in retrospect, going back and connecting the dots, it don't come over. You hear what
feeling about this House of Dragons, like, so how do you feel about it? Like, are you excited about House of Dragons, or are you just kind of like, I don't know if
I'm not I am not excited. I am not excited. And to be fair, when Game of Thrones first came out, I didn't watch it for like the first like maybe year it came out. Like, I didn't watch it until the first season had ended. And I was home on winter break, and my friends made me binge watch it, and we tried to make a drinking game out of it, and that was not conducive. I was like, no, I need to actually be sober, because there's like actual plot elements happening, and I want to know why this child was pushed out a window, and if he's gonna survive. That was the kicker for me. I was like, ooh, knocking children out windows? I gotta watch this. But yeah, so and prequels are tricky with me. You know, it all depends on the story being told in the prequel, because we already know what's going to come to pass depending on the prequel. We know House of Targaryen is going to fall. I'm not necessarily interested in seeing how it fell. I just
well,
that's how I see it. That I see House of Dragons just being.
Titanic was popular. We know how it's gonna
Okay, but
end.
that was a real life historical event of a cruise line crashing and sinking into the ocean, and we still have cruise lines crashing and sinking into the ocean. House of Dragons is not a recount of actual dragons roaming the earth, and we're finding out why dragons no longer roam the earth. We are going to see why this particular incestuous
a Game of
family
Thrones.
no longer exist or have dragons. And I personally do not care. And again, I did not particularly care to see Game of Thrones when it first came out, but if there's enough hype around it or anything, I might watch it because I have HBO Max, so it's not even gonna be like if I'm bored, I ain't got nothing else to watch, I'll probably watch it, but I'm not looking forward to it.
I'll watch it.
Yeah,
I read all the books.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like I'll watch it. I'm just not looking forward to it, but I'll probably check in. But it's like it's not. But it's also not a story I'm interested in, so I'm probably gonna fall off too.
Yeah. I want to know what happened to the dragons. So
I mean, you read the books, you know what happened to dragons.
But also, I think no, that's the thing. Like he never we get glimpses of the past, but we like what really happened, and he's keeping that a secret on purpose. And also, even there are Game of Thrones kind of history type books that he's written in the style of a history book. Who it's written by calls into question everything that you read. Kind of like real history. So story of what happened to the dragons, because there used to be a lot of them, and how some people are dragon riders and other people are not, and how that works. And it seems to in a lot of George R.R. Martin's stories, things have to do with genetics and stuff like that. So it would be interesting.
Yeah.
But that's if they are sticking closely to George R.R. Martin's kind of formula in his world. But if he's not really involved, it probably won't be interesting, because they're not gonna keep up with the science.
I mean, it's not like he got nothing else to do. He ain't writing the rest of those books. His concern has been wrapped up in these adaptations, these movies. You know, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He is involved.
Like I said,
okay. Okay, then yeah, I'm only gonna watch that.
He prefers to be more involved with the show than his actual writing at this point, because I mean that's where the money is. And I feel for those who actually like the book.
Maybe he's also sick of it.
Probably. Yeah. He's been writing that since before I was born. What, 1990?
He's probably sick of it.
When the first book come out, 91?
I don't even know.
I was born in 91. I feel like the first books came around way before I was even able to read. But yeah, I feel for fans of the books, because he'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna write it, and he just be bullshitting, as opposed to for me, I kind of experienced this when it comes to mangaka. Manga writers are prone to illnesses from overworking themselves. Some of them just straight up die and just never even finish their series. That happened to the mangaka behind Berserk. He died earlier this year. I think someone might be picking up the mantle to finish. If he had a manuscript somewhere, and this was the assistant, I think they're supposed to be finishing the story with the family's blessing. But then you have other instances, for me, I'm a fan of Hunter x Hunter. And Hunter x Hunter has been known to go on these long ass hiatus, to the point that instead of being called Hunter x Hunter, it's referred to hiatus. Dude is gone as long as 10 years without a new chapter. And a lot of it comes from he can't be in a position to draw. His body is just in such a state he can't draw. Ironically enough, his wife is the creator of Sailor Moon. And Sailor Moon has been a prolific figure in the anime industry for years. Plus, I like her.
Why?
What do you mean why? Shoujo,
Why do people
like Magical
like
Girl is just
Sailor Moon?
no, Magical Girl is just very popular, and Sailor Moon is like one of those progenitor Magical Girl anime. And she kept a schedule.
You're cutting out. I asked about Sailor Moon. Hello?
Hello.
You stuck? I kind of heard you here say hello, but it was all breaking up.
You're breaking.
No, you're breaking up. Okay, let me see. Okay. All right. Oh, and now she completely went away. Mike, we made her feel shame.
Oh my god.
Oh, are you back? You're back.
Okay, this episode is a fucking mess. I've only been able to hear like every other word
why
from you.
People like Sailor Moon and okay.
Well,
but I can hear it.
What was your question?
Okay, Sailor Moon can beat Goku.
Technically, yes.
I was asking why Sailor Moon is popular.
Well, because it's just like I said, it's one of the progenitor Magical Girl anime series. So, and she's had a consistent release schedule in the years since Sailor Moon has come out. And since then, I believe the story is complete. Her husband, however, has also been a creator of at least 2 other anime outside of Hunter x Hunter, one of which is Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho is actually complete both in manga and anime form. But Hunter x Hunter, it looks like he was maybe doing at the same time as Yu Yu Hakusho, but he has not finished it. Mm-hmm. And illness has made it even harder for him to draw, because he both draws and writes the story. And my thing has been like, at this point, bruh, just hand over the drawings to your wife, because to be quite honest, the drawings are not, I don't like the drawings of the manga. I do not like the drawings of the Hunter x Hunter manga. And within the last couple days, he's made an announcement that he's written like 10 more chapters or something, which, okay, cool. I'll wait for it to be adapted to anime, because I'm not about to write the scan. I'm not about to read the scanlations, because I don't like his art style. I like his storytelling, don't like his art style. And it would alleviate a lot of the strain on his body if he would just offload some of the work. Like, I feel like he's at the part of his career where he could. And his wife is right there. She's just, they both just living pretty off of the Sailor Moon income. I don't know. This is just me assuming what their pockets look like. But I mean, if I had a spouse who was making bank off of their series, I'd probably be slow to get back to writing and drawing too. Like, what I gotta work for?
Okay, so if I understand correctly about Game of Thrones again, so they're coming at the House of Dragons, and then also Jon Snow is somehow getting a spinoff. Is that correct? 4? There are 4 being planned,
including a Jon Snow sequel. I mean, he did.
What is Jon Snow going to do?
He's hanging out with the wildlings. So I guess him being leader of the wildlings.
I thought he fucked off beyond the wall.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do?
We're just following him fucking off beyond the wall with the wildlings. That's the show.
It's gonna be he like things of that. Like it was. I get it. Like it's snow. It's awful. It's cold, but
again, I'm not
Oh.
really interested in any
And
more.
without a dragon.
And without a dragon. Oh wait, yeah, because Drogon just pieced
No.
out with Daenerys' body at the end, and the other one was killed.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
there should be no. They're all gone. One was killed and turned into an ice dragon. One was shot out of the sky during a battle on the ocean. And the last one was Drogon. And Drogon melted the throne, took Daenerys' body, and pieced out. So,
Yeah.
yeah, there aren't really any more stories in the universe of Game of Thrones that I cared to know about as someone who only watched the adaptation. So they can keep that.
Another thing I find appealing
They
about
can keep all that.
about the House of Dragons is that it's got the doctors from Doctor Who, and it was one of the doctors that I liked. It's the doctor with the.
They're all white, so I'm trying to.
Hipster doctor.
Cumberbatch?
The most hipster. No, it wasn't Cumberbatch.
It was something British sounding. Now I gotta Google it.
It was British, yeah.
I mean, they're all British. Doctor Who.
The one with the chin. He is the one.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. Wait. Why are they showing me James Corden? Okay. I think I recognize the name if I saw it. Okay.
I don't know if I'd recognize the name. I just know when I see him.
Which number was he?
It's the hipster doc.
David Tennant?
I have no idea.
Matt
so I started. Nope, it was Matt Smith. It was the one that kind of came after David Tennant.
Yeah, that's Matt Smith.
Yes, and he's going to be in the House of Dragons. Yeah.
They're gonna have a black Doctor Smith. A black Doctor Smith. A black Doctor Who. I feel like it's too little, too late. Personally, like within the last year, they now have a white woman, which that season was not good from what I heard. And now we're gonna have a black guy. Like, stop trying to fill out your minority bingo card. The next Doctor is gonna be.
So I was watching Doctor Who from.
Yeah.
So I started watching Doctor Who. They started with it wasn't a reboot. It was just like a continuation when they had like Billie Piper as the companion. And they had like the young redhead with Matt Smith. But then after the young redhead went away and they brought in a brunette, I wasn't really watching it all completely. And then like they brought in a new doctor. And while I loved that actor, I didn't like him as the doctor. And then I heard about them having a woman doctor, but I never. And I wonder, like, would a black doctor get me to watch Doctor Who again? I don't know.
I like the actor that they're using. He's from the show Sex Ed, and I like him in Sex Ed, but he's not going to necessarily be that character from Sex Ed. I know that he can do comedy well, so if they're going to make this like a comedic doctor, maybe. But my thing is, and this is coming from someone who's not a Doctor Who fan. From what I understand, the Doctor can transform into any being that he wanted to. And for a good 50 years, he's chosen to look like a white man.
No, he can't. He can get to choose like what he looks like every time he undergoes a transformation.
He does get to choose?
Like no, he doesn't.
Oh, so how does he end up being a white man 99.9% of the time?
I don't know, but like according to the Doctor Who mythology, the Doctor has always wanted to be a redhead, and he never ends up.
So it's
as a
a
redhead.
it's a random generator kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he has been randomly generated over 50 plus years. And not only has he not even been a redheaded white man, he's just always been a white man. And now within the last couple years, he's been a blonde white woman and now a black man. Like I'm on Doc as a character, I'm pissed off for Doctor Who. All he asked for was to be a redhead. And he ain't even getting that. Y'all gave me titties and still didn't make me a redhead? That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
But then you got folks on the internet
Doctor
who are just
Who, like the death was so sad. Go ahead.
Well, so again, this is just someone who's just observing the fandom. It's been years of this man being a man every time he comes out and never even a redhead. And now he's a white woman and a black man. And I'm just trying to understand the logic for why it took him so long to be a woman, only to go back to being a man, but this time it's black and still not a redhead. What is the logic? Like y'all could have just kept it as he's always going to be a middle-aged to old-ass white man. But when you now make him a woman one season and a black man in the next season, it just looks like you're grasping at straws. Like you don't even understand your own mythology. You know, it's like it's giving pandering.
Well, there's a lot of that going on, but it's keeping black actors working. So
yeah, on that end, it's like, look, give my man more jobs because I think he does a great job in sex ed, and I don't know when the next season is coming out. But yeah, I'm all for black folks getting work. I hate when it feels like they're being put into kind of like scapegoat kind of productions, you know, like if this doesn't do well, they're gonna blame it on them, or it's gonna be hard for them to find work after because this failed. Never mind that it's probably up to the producers and the writers, and there being too many damn cooks in the kitchen anyway and producing the episode. Nah, it's because we hired a black man. It's that kind of stuff that just annoys me.
And then they're like, see, we tried it.
See, we gave you a woman and a black man, and look, y'all hated it. It's like, because y'all didn't know how to write. We hated the writing, not the character.
Back to whites forever.
We hated the characters because you wrote them bad and the stories around them. Because there's also people who don't like the current Picard-ish series of Star Trek Picard. Got the original Picard. People do not like it because they ain't writing.
Why don't they like
the way
it?
They want. It's the writing. They don't like the writing. And I mean, that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Like, it's not enough to just nostalgia bait people. You need to actually write a good story. And some of these diehard fans, they're going to keep you to task when it comes to continuity. Especially when you are dealing with a show that deals with alternate realities and alternate timelines, which are apparently two different things in the Star Trek world.
Yeah.
I just watched a video of a guy going in on it for about 48 minutes. I was like, I don't even watch this show, but I'm fascinated that you're so upset.
Oh, we have a question.
Oh, look at that.
What roles are out there where black folks can't be blamed? Don't it happen regardless?
I'd say if it's a show that's predominantly black, then it's like you can't put the blame on any one black person.
Like Insecure.
They're all black. Insecure, but Insecure was good.
Right.
P-Valley's all black.
Yeah.
If it's a predominantly black casted show, then for whatever reason, people are more able to look at the director and the writer. So like, look at the Tyler Perry movies. Anytime it's a bad Tyler Perry movie, no one's looking at the actors being bad. They're looking at Tyler Perry like, why did you write this so bad? Why did you direct them so bad? Why didn't you get any
But
good wigs
also,
on
Tyler
set?
Perry makes a big
But
deal
when you
about
are
writing
the
everything himself.
sole black person,
Mm.
yeah, that too.
Hello?
But again, the cast in general are all black. Exactly.
Right.
Like when we have our own things, we're able to actually focus on what makes good TV and movies. And that's the direction, the writing, the editing, and the acting, which with the right director, you can get a good acting performance out of these actors. You got to be able to trigger certain things in certain people to get the reaction you want on screen. And not every director knows how to do that. But yeah, it just becomes almost a scapegoat scenario though when it is like when they purport this is the first black whatever, then all the focus and vitriol tends to be focused on that person you propped up on a pedestal. We saw that recently in the Star Wars series. There was a new, what do they call it, like third sister. They propped her up as like, we're bringing in a black person into the Star Wars universe, and we know some of y'all aren't gonna like it. So there was a lot of like, they was trying to get ahead of the ball when it came to like any discrimination she was gonna get, and folks harped on that.
Right.
You know, now I saw black people who watched the series and we liked it just fine. The series as a whole, though, was not good because of the writing. But as us as black people, we can look at the material as a whole and be like, yeah, this wasn't quite hitting. Sis was fine, but as a whole, not really hitting. But then you'll have other folks who will just see like, it's because it wasn't focused. It wasn't focused. It was about the black woman. Nope, don't bring them down on us.
When the actors,
say it again. He over here about to get us in trouble with the Star Wars.
Do you think it's obvious when the actor black but the whiters are right, such as a situation with the Orange is the New Black?
Always. There's just little nuances to how the black characters will act. You're like, no black person would do that. No black person would say that. You can even just tell how many black people were on set by how the people's hair look. Is the old boy's lineup well? Who did these braids? You know, it's little things.
That is so messed up that there isn't like their attention paid to like black makeup, black lighting, like in hair and makeup and stuff, and that so many like even big actors and actresses have to bring like their own makeup and know how to do their own hair when everybody else gets to just lay back, sit in the chair, and be ready to go. Given that such a large proportion of people who end up on screen are people of color, like that's weird.
And again, when it's a black production though, you know, black people behind the scenes, you feel it. So like Insecure, they did their documentary of the show, and you saw like Issa had this black woman braiding her hair 5 a.m. for different scenes, you know. But at the same time, the writer's room was very diverse because the cast was diverse. There were white people, there were Hispanic people, there were black people, there were gay people, and you saw that in the writer's room. So you can be able to say like, how would a white person react to a black person saying this to them, kind of thing, you know. We're not a monolith, either of us, black, white, gay, anything. We're not a monolith, but it's nice to still have a perspective in the room. So
So no Black Bond for you.
I mean,
I want to see Doctor Who, no Black Bond. What do you think about Black Spider-Man?
Oh man,
Is it different for comics?
That's a good question. I
It's
think
like Captain America is
honestly,
black
I
now,
feel
and
like
that
it's
seems to be okay.
I feel like it's almost worse for comics for some people. Like it's the whole legacy thing,
Okay, why
and
is
just
that?
the environment we live in nowadays, with everybody having their own think piece, and because they got a mic and a camera, they're gonna spew whatever opinions they have. Um, but
Wait a minute, that's us right
personally,
now.
I know. Hey, how y'all doing? Um, but again, it is one of those things where it's like when you actually step back, there's no reason why there shouldn't be a black Bond or a black Spider-Man. Well, Spider-Man, I don't know what happened to that spider that bit Peter Parker to just be out here biting more people. But, if it's just a spider biting you that's giving you those powers, then yeah, anybody could be Spider-Man. Same with 007. 007 was just a call name. And I don't really know the lore of James Bond, but if that title can just be bestowed upon anyone, upon previous 007s dying, then again, there's no reason why a black person couldn't have that mantle. It's just folks are so used to Bond looking a certain way that to change it, for some folks it feels pandering, and for some folks it's just like, why? Yeah, it's like some folks just don't like change. And for me, I'm less excited about
Yeah.
a black version of a legacy white character as I am an original all new black thing. Like Attack the Block. That's just black. That wasn't the Goonies, but make it black. It was black people. Black Panther is about black
You know what?
people.
Right.
That's what gets me excited. So even with like
I really
Jordan Peele's movies. No, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, there is a way also that something can start off as a copy of a white thing, like slowly evolve into its own thing. And I'm thinking about specifically Girlfriends, because like the first couple of seasons, it's very obvious that they're ripping off of Sex in the City. And at some point it just feels like they stop and they get into their own thing. And that's when it became like really good, or at least to me. And then I didn't watch it anymore.
You never finished watching Girlfriends?
Tony Childs was my favorite, and she left. I was like, I guess y'all should have paid her. I'm done. Like
if you were only watching for a particular character and they gone, that's how I felt about Three's Company. I love the original season with the original Chrissy, and then like they replaced Chrissy with her cousin. It was horrible. It was not funny. Like I went through them having Don Knotts as their landlord and the couple as their landlord, and those two as landlords, those separate entities as landlords were funny. But when they messed up the core tenants and replaced Chrissy with her cousin, it ain't hit the same no more. She wasn't as dumb, for lack of a better term. Like Chrissy was like naive and childlike, and her cousin had more sense about her. And we already had somebody who had sense. That was Janet. Janet had sense for both of them, for all of them. Now we got another one. No, the dynamic's off.
Sometimes a show can survive a character change, such as like Charmed. They replaced a whole sister, and I was like completely fine with it.
Never watched Charmed.
But like for some reason, Buffy. After Girlfriends, you didn't watch Buffy. You're missing out.
Nope. First of all, I was too young, and now I just don't care. My friend tried to get me to watch it.
Yeah.
You had to, it's one of those things where it's like you
I
had to have been there.
failed to Buffy. No, actually, no. I remember when Buffy was coming out, and I was never interested in it. And I tried, like Netflix kept suggesting it, and I tried and failed to watch it several times. And then I finally gave a couple episodes a try, and then it became like one of my favorite things. Same thing with, I failed several times, and then I was like,
All right,
man,
well,
I love
maybe,
it. But we have got
maybe
to
I'll
wrap
give
up the
it.
show.
Yeah, no, I was just saying maybe I'll give it a try. I'll
Well,
report back to you
don't force
next
yourself.
week. Yeah,
If you want to, don't force
Yeah.
yourself. Don't
I'll
force
let you
yourself
know.
ever.
I'll let you know next week when you give me your Attack on Titan updates.
Well, I will. Hopefully by then I'll be on to season 2, and I'll know like who the female Titan is, because I'm like,
I can't
looking
wait
to
for you
that
to find
reveal.
out.
But it does kind of it does kind of bum me out that it is going to be like, what, 3 more seasons before I find out like what in the basement with the dad and the key and all of that. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
can't wait. But I'll be trying.
Yeah, it's
I'll
gonna
try
be
to
a
see
minute.
through.
It'll be fine in the meantime. Like there's enough
We wrapping this
mystery and
up?
stuff in the meantime. Yeah. I've been Ash.
Yeah, we got to figure out who's the female Titan, who's the mole. I've been Fatima. I've been
This has been
Fatash.
Fatash.